What's up, everyone? This is Josh Rubin. Today I want to talk about Hepcidin, the other side of anemia that is never really talked about. But as always, before we jump in and get started, please like this video, show us a little support. Please hit that notification button and subscription button, wherever it is these days, to show us a little more support. So every single Wednesday when we put out a video, you get notified. Let's jump in. So I just want to touch upon kind of why we do YouTube and why we do these videos. First, we do them or we don't do them because it's not a treatment plan. We don't do videos like other people and say, if you just do this, you're going to heal. YouTube, social media, they are not treatment plans. You will not find your personalized treatment plan. Moving towards why do we do these? We do these to share what we learn. We do these to share what works with clients, right? What has worked for us in our process over 20 years. Why? Because it might help you change the trajectory of your process. If you're stuck, it might help you break through that plateau. If you don't have hope, it might give you a little bit of hope to work with us or work with someone to help you move in that right direction versus chasing your symptoms. That's why we do YouTubes. So understand that. We're not saying like, this is your treatment plan. If you just do this, if you just eat retinol-rich foods, you're going to heal, you're going to regulate iron. That is false. That's not why we're doing this, okay? But let's jump in, right? Enough of this mumbo jumbo. Hepcidin, it's a peptide that's produced in the liver. Now, according to literature and online and Google University, it's a hormone that is being produced to regulate iron homeostasis. I don't agree with this at all. A lot of people don't agree with this. And I don't even really agree with the whole iron philosophy online. If your iron is low, you're anemic, you take iron, you feel better. Of course, you're going to feel better. But that doesn't mean you're fixing why you have low iron. I'll touch upon that a little bit. We have many, many other videos on kind of the why. So why is Hepcidin produced? Well, Hepcidin is produced in the liver. Now remember, one of the places you recycle iron is the hepatocytes, the cells in your liver. You recycle about 70% of the iron in your body through those cells to get it into your blood, the highway. So when you do a blood test, your iron sat, your transferrin, your total iron show normal, right? So think about that. The way I explain it is a warehouse, these are your cells, people loading boxes coming down the conveyor belt onto the UPS or FedEx trucks. And you need people to drive those trucks onto the highway of the blood. If you don't have drivers, that's copper, you can't get it into the blood, right? The boxes just keep piling up. So in your cells, you have different enzymes, 3 of them being hepcidin, then ferroxidase, then ferroportin. You go into the cell through hepcidin, it's the bouncer at the front of the door. You have to pay him copper. That goes into the cell. Ferroxidase converts ferrous, dangerous iron into ferric to go out the back door, which is ferroportin. They're all copper-dependent enzymes, right? So if you don't have enough copper in the body, or we should say retinol, which loads copper into bioavailable copper to activate these enzymes, the boxes build up, right? We can't get iron out the back door, or we should say from inside the cell to outside the cell through ferroportin into the blood. This is why you show low iron sat, maybe super high ferritin, maybe low ferritin, right? And here's the thing, not one value is an iron marker. People say ferritin's not an iron marker. It isn't by itself, but guess what? Total iron by itself is not an iron marker. Ceruloplasmin by itself is not an iron marker. Copper by itself is not an iron marker. Everything together is an iron marker, right? So let's not misconstrue this. So here's the thing. It's been shown that Hepcidin will rise, right, this peptide that's produced in the liver, in response to cytokines, interleukin-6, inflammatory markers, right? So it's in response to inflammation. The problem is it's been shown that Hepcidin also will inhibit ferroportin. So the more inflammation you produce, the more you inhibit ferroportin, the less you can get iron out the back door, the more iron is going to build up in the liver, sometimes in the tissues, right? Leading to increased hemosiderin, higher ferritin, inflammation, low iron sat, low iron, higher ferritin, etc. on your blood labs. Many, many different values, not just one thing, right? Of course, these can give you the diagnosis of anemia. You can have pale skin, low energy, etc. But remember this, it's because, now I'm not saying just eat copper and this is the answer. No, I'm just giving you the basics here. This is not a treatment plan. If we have copper, we activate these enzymes, we get it inside the cell, outside the cell, onto the blood, or into the blood, into the highway. But if we don't, we cause inflammation, and that hepcidin rises in response to interleukin 6, which blocks ferroportin even more. But how do we get inflammation? Think about it. If we have retinol, we load copper in the liver and in the gut into different ports, let's say, which give us bioavailable copper, which allows us to activate many enzymes in the body, 3 of them being what I just mentioned, in the liver and in the gut, which allow us to get iron in, convert it from ferrous to ferric out the back door. That's the recycling system. You don't need a lot of iron to recycle. The key is recycle means reuse. You don't need a lot coming in. You can get it from organ meats, and you can get it from muscle meats and things like that. And you can get it from your retinol-rich foods and copper-rich foods. But here becomes the problem. Now, if we don't have copper because of altered copper metabolism, whether it be from medications, whether it be from glyphosate, GMO, high fructose corn syrup, synthetic supplements, synthetic retinol, calcium supplements, D supplements, synthetic, A supplements, the iron, the list goes on. What happens is we don't have copper. So when you don't have enough bioavailable copper, right, the relationship between iron and copper goes like this: copper down, iron up. That produces inflammation, which produces hepcidin, which affects iron recycling even more. But if we have retinol-rich foods, copper-rich, mineral-rich foods in our diet, we're able to load copper. We're not only able to activate those enzymes, recycle iron and get it into the blood, we're able to produce energy, produce copper-rich antioxidants, which produces a very non-inflammatory state. So that's going to keep hepcidin at bay, not block ferroportin, allow us to recycle iron. So if we see inflammation and increased hepcidin, right, or low, we should say, low irons and all these things, we know this, right? That no copper equals no bioavailable copper, right? Equals high iron, equals inflammatory cytokines, equals high hepcidin, equals anemia, right? That's where we're going. And it all ties together. So here's the thing. This is information. What you do with it, it's up to you. It's just to open your eyes a little deeper to understand that retinol-rich foods, copper-rich foods, mineral-rich foods, but also eliminating the blocking factors. That's the biggest thing, right? It's not just drinking the adrenal cocktail and eating liver and thinking you're going to heal. There's so many blocking factors. And there's blocking factors that have gotten you here over the past 10, 20, 30, 40 years. It's not going to be fixed in 2 months or 1 month, right? It's always finding the balancing act between those to feed the system. Because when you do that, copper and iron will go like this, will recycle. Inflammation will go like this. Our antioxidants will go like this. And now we're in an anti-inflammatory state. We're producing antioxidants. We're producing energy. We can put out our fire and we regulate the iron recycling system. We can get iron from the liver, from the tissues, into the blood and support iron recycling and all our recycling systems. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Any questions, please put them below. As always, thank you for your support. I'm out.